Hey YouTube, welcome back into the studio gallery. Today is inspirations number 3 and we're going to talk about Denali autumn. And this was a really cool experience that I had. You'll never guess. Denali. There you go. So it was, I think it was around 2010, and my wife and I went to Denali for the first time, and what a trip. It was fantastic. And we actually, that day, had done quite a bit of hiking, went all the way into the back interior, quite close to the outpost, and then returned back, and we were just going to take a sunset drive into the park. Now, for those of you that have never been to Denali National Park in Alaska, you're only allowed to go in about 18 miles to the ranger station, and from there only buses and backpackers are allowed in unless you win the lottery once a year, which is a whole nother story. So anyways, this was one of those evenings where we decided, okay, let's drive to the ranger station and back and see if we can see anything and maybe get some great pictures. So all the way in, we didn't see much. It was very slim pickings that night until we got to the ranger station. So that's as far in as you can drive, but you can walk wherever you want. And I see this gigantic bull moose just coming over the top hill and heading towards us. So I said to my wife, stay here, I'm just gonna jump out. I'm gonna take a couple of pictures of him when he gets closer, and we'll be on our way. And she's like, well, he's like 700-800 yards out, what kind of pictures are you gonna get? I said, well, no, he's coming this way, and I can see from his angle that I'll just set myself up over here, and I'll be good when he gets closer to take a couple of pictures. So that is actually exactly what was happening, is this moose is coming towards us as slow as molasses because he's grazing all the way along. And I'm kind of setting myself up thinking, okay, if he moves a little bit this way, I'll be here. And there's this whole bunch of willow underbrush. It's about 7 feet tall or so. So it's a little bit taller than me, so that when I was on the ground, I really couldn't see past this willow thicket. So I had to kind of guesstimate, all right, his angle is coming this way, he should come out of the other side of the willows this way. And if I set myself up right, I was going to get prime pictures with my telephoto. So I set my tripod up, I got the camera set up, run back up this hill embankment to look where he is, and sure enough, he's right on the trajectory I thought he was coming, so I stayed where I was. I'm thinking, I have got the perfect spot for when this moose comes through the willow bush. I'm going to get fantastic pictures. So I go to my tripod, I can hear him coming through. He's meandering through as slow as you could possibly think. It took him about 15 to 20 minutes to start getting through to the point where all of a sudden he came out no more than 10 to 15 feet away from me, and I was set up where I thought I was going to be about 20 yards away from him, but in that thicket, I guess the willow was tastier towards me, and he started coming towards me, and because I wasn't making any noise, he had no idea I was there, and I had no idea he was coming out where I was. Well, this moose comes out of the thicket. I instinctively just start taking pictures like crazy, and he raises his head. He looks at me, he starts snorting, and does the head bob. Well, I'm thinking to myself, I am done. This moose is going to gore me to death, and that'll be the end of it. Well, the only thing that saved me was, right behind me, about another 20 feet, was the road, and the road was elevated, so you had to come down an embankment to get where we were. And all the people driving by, because we were right by the ranger station, which is the main turnaround, all these people saw the moose, and they pulled over, and they jumped out of their car, and they started running down the embankment. So within a few seconds of this moose coming out of the willow, there was about 15 or 20 people. And I think the only thing I can come up with, because usually moose aren't afraid of too many people, but maybe that many people spooked him that he turned around and did a trot back up a little bit of a hill and back down and kept grazing, about 40 yards away from us. So I was literally 10 to 15 feet away from being gored by what I guesstimate to be about a 1,500-pound moose, and it's all because I didn't follow the right safety precautions, and I didn't respect the space, the personal space of the animal. So the lesson in this inspiration is, yes, it's great to get that fantastic shot, but be careful, because if you're not careful, it might just be the last shot you ever get. Everything turned out well that time. Nobody got hurt. The moose moved on. I got fantastic pictures. This painting was the inspiration, the biggest inspiration from that trip. I did a couple of other paintings from it, but this is the moose that almost ended Derek Wicks's life. And if it wasn't for 15 strangers, I'd be nothing but a memory. All right, so respect nature, follow the rules they have in the parks. They're there for your own safety.